For hundreds of years, accomplishing the American dream and purchasing a home to grow old in has motivated the people of the United States. But unfortunately, home prices across the country seem to just keep going up. Can we all still accomplish our homeowning dreams? If you're part of the estimated 91% of Americans that would like to own their own home or property someday, you are in luck. Fortunately enough, while many states are experiencing ridiculously overpriced real estate markets and excessively high home prices, plenty of other states across the country still have quite affordable homes. And it's important that we recognize these states and look at their median home prices to know where home ownership is still exciting and attainable. In today's video, we'll take a look at 10 states in the U.S. that are cheapest for buying a new home. Purchasing your own home in an expensive housing market can be an overwhelming task, but don't worry, we are here to help ease that burden. Beginning with number 10, Kansas. Kansas's median home price in 2023 is $157,600. Kansas features plenty of open grasslands, farmhouse opportunities, and a few affordable cities such as Wichita, Topeka, and Kansas City, all of which contribute to a favorable real estate market. Kansas has the second best cost of living index score out of all the states, meaning that overall living in Kansas is quite cheap and manageable for individuals and families of all sizes. Additionally, 67% of all homes in Kansas are occupied by the actual owner of the home, unlike in many pricier states such as New York, where only 54% of homeowners live in the home. Kansas, therefore, is a great environment for those looking to own their own home, as home ownership and cheaper living is ingrained into Kansas's culture. Not to mention, for those eager for wide-open plains and a place that isn't so densely populated, Kansas is a perfect match. Next up on the list at number 9 is Iowa. Iowa's median home price in 2023 is $153,900. Much like the landscape of Kansas, Iowa features a few mid-sized metropolitan areas like Cedar Rapids and Des Moines, and an expansive acreage of farmland and pastures. Over the past 4 years, the average number of days a home for sale in Iowa stays on the market has steadily decreased. Now, in May of 2023, Iowa homes for sale are selling usually in just over a month's time compared to the beginning of 2020, when Iowa homes were on the market an average of 4 to 5 months. Prospective homeowners are trending towards Iowa, and for good reason. Iowa also has an ownership over renting mentality, as evident by the state's 71.6% rate of homeowners living in the home they own. Iowa home costs are roughly 27% below the nation's average, and job growth and opportunities are abundant, as available jobs in the whole state, and especially Des Moines, have consistently risen for the past 15 years. Moving down the list at number 8 is Ohio. Ohio's median home price in 2023 is $151,400. Ohio is geographically and historically situated in a fascinating place in America. Like many of their Great Lakes neighbors, Ohio was economically hit particularly hard by the decline of industry and manufacturing plants during the mid-1900s. Recently, though, the state has been strongly recovering and is finding new ways to draw interest back into the state. Potential homeowners have shown interest in Ohio over its low cost of living, overall cheap home prices in both urban and rural areas, and its strong corporate presence and economy. The economic turnaround experienced in cities like Toledo, Cincinnati, and Cleveland, and the creative and business hub of Columbus makes for plenty of excellent and affordable locations throughout the state for home ownership. Moving on at number 7, we have Alabama. Alabama's median home price is $149,600. While Alabama indeed has the 7th lowest median home price, what perhaps makes Alabama even more intriguing for home ownership is their property tax rate. Alabama's property tax rate is at 0.41%, the second lowest rate in the country, second only to Hawaii. But where Hawaii falters in having a median home price of over $600,000, Alabama home prices are consistently affordable and lightly taxed. Also, much like Ohio and Kansas, Alabama has incredibly favorable cost of living rates. Only 3 states rank better. Alabama has incredibly low costs of living and pair their low living costs with buyer-friendly conditions for purchasing a house. Despite all these ideal financial conditions, many in Alabama would argue that the absolute reason to own a home in the state is the beautiful weather. Ample natural beauty, sunny weather, and notable hospitality make for an excellent home buying climate. Next up at number 6 is Indiana. Indiana's median home price is $148,900. Indiana deems themselves the crossroads of America, with their centralized position in the Midwest playing a major part in that. The center of that crossroad is Indianapolis, a surprisingly populated and growing city with plenty of business opportunities and potential for homeowners. Despite these favorable aspects, the state still maintains low prices for homes and keeps the cost of living down so that Hoosiers can comfortably live. Indiana also features a low property tax rate at 0.85%. Another interesting note on Indiana is the state's median monthly homeowner costs, including mortgage, which averages to $1,200. All in all, per month, this figure is quite affordable and cheap, especially compared to similar figures in other states. For example, the homeowner cost per month in Indiana is $400 below the individual price to rent in California, which is just under $1,600 a month. Indiana and its slew of cities and towns feature excellent economic potential at great price points. Now for the top half of the list, number 5, Kentucky. Kentucky's median home price is $147,100. At this point in the list, it should come as no surprise, but Kentucky's cost of living is quite low, making for a favorable home buying market. In addition to the low cost of living and the variety of tax breaks that the state has, Kentucky is a really great choice for home ownership for their distinct culture and history. Whether you want to move to Louisville or Lexington to experience urban Kentucky life, live out in the rural hills and forests of the state's countryside, or if you enjoy horse racing, bourbon, Civil War history, or outdoor experiences, Kentucky has something for you. Also, Kentucky promotes business and self-employment, ranking number out of all states on their cost of doing business score. Therefore, there's plenty to see in Kentucky and plenty of opportunity to make your dreams come true, and plenty of homes waiting to be sold. Next up at number 4, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's median home price is $142,400. Oklahoma is a state historically known for the buying and selling of land at incredibly cheap prices. In 1889, President Benjamin Harrison signed a declaration called the Land Rush, where a line was drawn and a gun would be fired into the air at noon on April 22nd, indicating that the rush for land had begun. At that point, tens of thousands of homesteaders rode out on their horses attempting to claim a cheap piece of the 2 million-acre land pool available. The same mindset, but a bit more modernized, exists in the Sooner State today. Cost of living is low and home and land availability is very high here, especially considering how geographically large the state is. Additionally, Oklahoma has 2 major-sized cities, Tulsa and Oklahoma City, that have affordable urban living options for homeowners. Entering in at spot number 3, we have Arkansas. Arkansas's median home price is $133,600. Entering the top 3, we find that there is a significant jump in price from Oklahoma to Arkansas, as Arkansas has a median home price almost $10,000 lower than Oklahoma. Arkansas is not very densely populated, so finding space in a town or small city to find your dream home should be a breeze. Arkansas offers great property tax rates, which are at a low 0.61%. Additionally, the median monthly home ownership property costs, including a mortgage, is at a cool $1,154. Again, comparing that to rent or ownership in many of America's expensive states or largest cities, you will be paying tremendously less for a significant amount more space in Arkansas. Lastly, space and breathing room is another important factor towards people moving to Arkansas. Arkansas is referred to as the natural state, and for good reason, as the state has notable natural wonders like hot springs, lakes, expansive forests, and rivers. Nearing the end at number 2, we have Mississippi. Mississippi's median home price is $125,500. Again, here we see a significantly more affordable median home price in Mississippi. Mississippi shares in much of the same basic reasoning that draws home buyers to Alabama and Arkansas. Mississippi offers a favorable climate, a population that's pretty dispersed across the state, and tons of space to find a home and freedom to do it. Additionally, as we've seen so far, a low cost of living index score usually contributes to a state having cheaper homes. Mississippi's cost of living is the lowest mark in the entire country, and the state therefore has a wide variety of potential for making home ownership a reality. Also, looking at the real estate market trends over the past 5 years reveals that Mississippi homes are selling quicker and quicker. In 2019, the average time a home was on the market was roughly 4 months, while now it's at roughly 40 days. The demand for Mississippi homes is growing right alongside the home buyers' demands for cheap living. Finally, coming in at number 1, our top spot is West Virginia. West Virginia's median home price is $123,200. West Virginia is a state known for its affordability and cheap land and the price to buy a home in Mountain State. Beginning with West Virginia's terrain, Mountain State is an appropriate nickname. The state's terrain is very rugged, and the entire border of the state is contained in the Appalachian Mountains. Natural beauty is abundant here in the massive mountains and gorges found throughout West Virginia, and they are even more appealing because of how cheap living in the state is. While many other states out west and east have terrific mountain landscapes, their prices and costs of living are significantly higher than that of West Virginia. West Virginia has a highly favorable property tax rate and an incredibly low monthly property costs, including mortgage, of $1,101. West Virginia is also unique to this list in that the state doesn't really have any major or mid-sized cities and is also the only state on this list with mountainous terrain. Not only is West Virginia the most affordable place to buy a new home, but it's also the most unique compared to all the other cheap options. And as John Denver sings, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. Every state we've looked at today could be perfect for your next dream home. With open space, cheap living, unique cultures, and of course cheap homes, all of the states on this list are just itching to be the next place you call home. If the American dream is calling your name but money is tight, you can rest easier now knowing that affordable home ownership is certainly in your future.